Hey everyone, today I'm going to be showing you the demo and my thoughts on the Pat McGrath foundation. I've been testing it out for about 3 days now, and I'm going to give you my final thoughts at the end of this video. Before I get into it, I'm not going to go into too much detail because you can find out the claims of this foundation on the website, which I will link down below. Personally, I knew going in that this is a light coverage foundation, which I like. I like more of the lightweight foundations that don't feel heavy, don't look heavy, and stay on all day. From the first time I used it, I wasn't a fan. I tried it the second day. I didn't really like it either. Today is the third day that I'm trying it, so I'll let you know my thoughts. So I did purchase the foundation primer and powder because it came in a kind of a kit for a discounted price when they first launched. So I have the primer, the foundation, and the powder. Now the powder I got in medium and it was way too orange for me, so I couldn't use it today for this video. When you first open the powder package, it comes like this. This is exactly what it came like. So the powder was already going everywhere, which I was not happy about. I don't know how I feel about the bouncy sifter because the product was already coming out. And this is in the shade medium 3, which was recommended to me based on the foundation shade that I bought. I can't talk about the claims of the powder or the wear of the powder because I couldn't use it because it didn't match my skin tone. From what I've seen, a lot of people like the finish of it. I wish I was able to use it. I did ask for an exchange. I'm still waiting on their response. So hopefully I'll be able to exchange this powder for the lighter one that actually looks good on my skin. This is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Primer. The packaging on these products are really pretty. I don't know how I feel about this primer. It didn't really feel like a primer. It felt like more like skincare. It is very lightweight. It is very hydrating. It has a slight pink tone when you first apply it, but it blends out into nothing. So it is very lightweight. It has more like a serum type of finish, so it feels really good. In terms of longevity, I don't think it does anything with the foundation other than just making your skin feel hydrated. So this is a good skincare product. I don't think I would recommend it as an actual primer before your foundation. I just recommend it that you apply it with your fingers. I know that Pat McGrath herself does a lot of her work with her fingers. She does a lot of her work with her fingers just because she thinks it's easier. And it is, it's quicker for sure, but I'm so used to using a brush that this feels odd. But I'm gonna apply it where I get oily, and again, it goes on really well. It doesn't feel sticky or anything like that. So I really like the packaging of this. It comes out from the top, and then you get your foundation. I do like the packaging of this, and it is a pump, thank God. When I first saw it, I didn't think it would be a pump, but it is. The packaging of this is really, really pretty. Is packaging enough for you to buy a $70 foundation though? I mean, no. Like, how many of you guys are actually gonna keep this? So in the foundation, I purchased the shade medium 15, and based on their color charting, this is a pretty close match. It has a yellow undertone. It's a tad darker than my skin tone, but I'd rather have it darker than lighter because you can fix the tone when it's darker. So I'm going to show you what this looks like on my skin. To apply that, I'm going to use a brush. Pat McGrath uses her fingers, but I like to use a brush to apply it. And this is what it looks like. It's pretty runny. To apply that, I'm going to be using my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. And I'm going to zoom y'all in so you guys can see exactly what my skin looks like. And I got another pimple today, another one here. I don't know what's going on, but ugh, it's been crazy. So I'm gonna apply this, and again, I'm in shade medium 15. So it's a slightly darker, but nothing that I can't fix. And I did about 1.5 pump. So that's what one layer looks like. I'm gonna do a second layer. I need it. So right here, pretty much around my cheeks, nose, and a little around the forehead right here. With the second layer, it goes on really well. It doesn't move around the previous layer, and it overall looks really healthy and glowy. Keep in mind, if you keep having to use 2 or 3 pumps at a time to get the coverage that you want, you're gonna run through this foundation pretty quickly. Keep in theme with the lighter coverage look, I'm gonna be using the Kevyn Aucoin concealer. What is this called? Supernatural Concealer / Corrector. And it's a very lightweight concealer. I really like this for an everyday look. It is a little bit light for my skin tone, but it helps brighten up the area. Quickly do the rest of my makeup. I do need to set this with powder because it's so oily on my skin. I get really oily right here in this area and then around the forehead. I'm gonna set that today with the Beauty Bakery Flour Powder. And I'm gonna set my under my eyes and then around my face. So that is my complete look using this foundation. I personally was very disappointed in the way this foundation wore. I expected a lot from this foundation because it was described to be a foundation that's used on models, so it's supposed to last through hours and hours of wear through harsh lights, but on my skin it just did not hold up. The consistency of this is comparable to the Armani Luminous Silk, but even then that foundation actually does better on my skin than this one did, and that one tends to get pretty oily too, but it doesn't wear off. I'm gonna do a quick swatch of this foundation versus the consistency of the other foundations to show you just how similar it is to any of the other foundations. Just in case you don't want to try and spend $70 on this, you can go and find an alternative. This one is the Pat McGrath. This one is the Dior Backstage Face and Body. The NARS Luminous Weightless. I'm doing a pump of all of these. The Armani Luminous Silk. Kevyn Aucoin Etherealist Foundation. Kind of spewed right there. And the reason I chose this is because the consistency was pretty similar. So as you can see, they're all pretty runny foundations. But the Pat McGrath one is the most runny, and then Armani Luminous Silk is pretty similar. The Dior is also pretty runny. This is a face and body foundation, so I don't expect it to be a heavier coverage. So consistency-wise, they're pretty similar, but coverage-wise, Pat McGrath has more coverage for sure. Okay, so that's my review and demo of the new Pat McGrath foundation. Let me know your thoughts if you've tried this foundation. Let me know what you think. If you have oily skin, give me some tips on how you made it stay on all day. For me, this is the type of foundation I see myself mixing with other foundations and then setting with a powder foundation to get the most coverage. From what the pictures that I taken, it doesn't have flashback, which is really good. It looks really good in pictures, but again, it only lasts on my skin for like 2 hours. So yeah, I'm gonna do a 5-hour check-in to show you what I think of this foundation. Other than that, I really appreciate you guys stopping by my channel, looking at this video. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in tomorrow's video. Hey everyone, okay, so it's been about 5 hours since I've had this foundation on, and I'm not impressed. It did not hold up well. My blush is starting to fade already, as you can see, and it just looks like I didn't wear anything but maybe like a tinted moisturizer. For $70, I expected a lot more. I was so excited about this foundation. I'm really sad that it's not working out for me right now.